welcome back to the Married at First Sight All-Star Panel. And the gang is all here today. Hope everybody's doing well. Oh, man, we got August Love Story. We have Talisa Ray, Jack, and Glenn. And we're here to talk about Married at First Sight. Yes, we are still talking about Married at First Sight. How everybody doing today?
Everybody don't speak at once.
Are here.
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, man.
Mm-mm.
I'm back
Mm-mm.
like 2, 3, not the 4 or 5. Jordan, he came back. It's 45. Anyway,
Yeah,
we here.
I got it. Okay.
I'm doing all right. It don't look like Artika can't breathe. Listen, Quad
Quad is just like, I'm here, and Lily is also here.
Hey, the
Yes,
whole
she
gang,
does.
the whole gang
The
is
gang.
here.
The whole
Yeah.
gang is here.
Nobody's had
Come out
enough
and sit with
today.
me. We be really full.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. It's good to see you guys. We're still talking about Married at First Sight. Man, where we want to get started at? This is actually where I want to get started at. Let's talk about Jasmina.
We still call that girl
I'm
Jasmina.
thinking about Jasmina from Boston, but it's Jasmine from Jasmine from the season, and her new boo that she don't want nobody
Her
to
friend
see.
boy.
Her friend boy. She don't.
Boy.
That's the, anyway. I'll let y'all go. That's a whole bunch of mess. Friend boy. How old are we?
Well, that's so that she don't say boyfriend and people be thinking they together.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm thinking because she went on camera. Maybe you got teeth like she got. I don't know.
Oh, rude.
I was reading something.
That's what I was expecting.
Her teeth,
That was-
but that was like speculation from people that I know in Nashville. So
What? Say it again. We missed the first part.
I said I was reading something last night about her getting her teeth fixed, but that's speculation from people that I know in Nashville. So it is probable that they are fixed, but I'm not sure.
She should, after everybody done talked about her teeth, because I'm sure every reviewer has talked about that woman's teeth.
I tried not to say anything.
I tried to.
I didn't. I got a thing about teeth, so I'm gonna say something about teeth.
God knows I do too.
Yeah.
But
I tried not to, but it came out every blue moon because I was trying to figure out why the air is not like her, and I was like,
That was the only thing.
maybe
we couldn't figure out what else it could be except for the fact that she just didn't lay it low and spread it wide immediately.
yeah. So that was one reason there. But let's talk about speculate, but the guy that she's dealing with. What do you got? Anybody thoughts on him? Somebody again, I do know it's not Keith Manley because some people was like, "Oh, it's Keith from the Charlotte season." It's not Keith.
Oh.
No, he doesn't have that same structure as Keith. The only thing that looked like Keith was his hair and maybe his skin tone. But I'm glad that she got out there. I know people probably, somewhere else I saw somebody was like, don't be asking nobody if they're attracted to you. I thought to myself, well, she is, because she just came off of an 8-week relationship where somebody told her they were not attracted to her and turned around and said he'd take anything that his roommate's girlfriend would have shown up. So or would have divvied out. And so I just was like, I think it's okay for her to be like, are you attracted to me? Let's get that out the way. Because if he would have stuttered, she could have been like, okay, that's enough for me. So I'm okay with it because the whole thing about being desired is huge. I know I told y'all that before. It's huge for me now. Like, I need you to want me. And physical touch is not my primary language, but physical intimacy is very important to me. So, I'm actually really proud of her getting herself out there. Okay, with that, they did do a little grandma pet, but that's all right too. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of her. Like, stand your ground and know that. What did she say? I know that I'm a bad bitch, but I need to know if you think I'm a bad bitch.
Right.
I didn't feel no way, but I did hear some people feel a way about her saying it. Do you like me?
I ain't got no problem with it.
I ain't no problem with it. I think it was good for her to get out there because we know Eris went back out there. We'll talk about Eris later. We know Eris has already been back out there. August Love Story, your thoughts on Jasmine and her new little boo?
I'm glad that she's dating. I always feel like it's too soon. You know, like I think they said 19 days before or whatever the time period. I always feel like it's too soon, but um I'm glad she's out there doing her thing. But I'm also glad she asked that because it's like, yeah, that's a basis of any relationship is some form of attraction. I have to like something about you to want to move forward in any type of relationship, friendship, kinship. I don't know all the other ships.
I
You
don't
know,
think I would have asked, "Do you like me?" But I also probably would have said something smart to Eris
but
about not
I was
liking
gonna
me.
say,
Right, exactly. I think we would have known right off top though that it wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been sitting there so patiently.
Mm-mm.
They would have been like, "Oh, we don't like each other like that. Oh, she giving him the business every chance she get."
like that's the thing. It's like we're speaking from a standpoint of not being told I'm not attractive. You know, to
Ooh,
a
how
person.
dare somebody say such a thing?
Right. Like most people show that they're not attracted
I'll
to
be
you.
like, "Your
But
mama's
he
not a
told
looker
her.
either," but here we are.
My girl.
but so I look at that her asking that, yes, was it awkward? Yep. But was it I think it was a necessary question. I don't think like you don't just be quiet and then be like, hey, are you attracted to me? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you have to be like to make it less awkward. You talk about attraction. Hey, my last guy, he said he wasn't attracted to me. That hurt my feelings. That did this. That did that. I'm attracted to you. Are you attracted to me? But working more into the conversation than how she did it, because it was awkward for him to be like, "Oh man, I gotta answer this question." You
That
know,
conversation was there for
it
a
looked
good
produced.
time, not a long
Right,
time.
right, right. It looked the
Yeah.
conversation
We have to
looked
hit
produced.
all the points.
Got
This is what they
everything.
want me to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm still confused though with his I don't want to be on camera. When I first saw that he wasn't like truly being filmed, I was like, he still got a girlfriend.
So
That's
wait,
what I thought, Artika.
it was his choice not to be on camera, not her choice. Because did they say that in something that I missed it in an after party or something?
I think it was like she didn't want the world to know who her boo was, and I'm sitting here thinking, if he's and just maybe y'all are women, y'all let me know if he's better than the last dude. Wouldn't you want everybody to know who he is? Unless he was taken, unless he had something going on. I've thought about, is he protected? Was he witness protection program? Is he? Y'all laugh because the dude from Ready to Love got caught up like that. So
Really?
yeah.
I ain't gonna watch
it.
it.
I'm definitely not gonna watch it. Y'all tell me about that.
Now I tell you, the guy Blue got caught up on some
the PPP
scams.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't
y'all
know.
here breaking the law and getting on TV.
Right, but if you don't, so I was like, is it like you don't want the world to see him? Like, what's wrong with him? That's why I'm like, okay, does he not look pleasing? Does he even like Artika? Does he belong to somebody else? Like, first of all, why even? But why even if you don't, if you know you're being filmed, right? Then why even do the scene if you don't want to be on TV? Just say, you know what, we're not going out.
To prove he ain't invisible, like he really exists.
And you know what? That little blur, they did a little blur like with his side face. If he has a girlfriend, a woman, a boo, a babe, whatever, she knows who he is from that blur. That wasn't enough for you not to be able to recognize your man on the screen.
Nope.
It is not. You laughing, Tommy, but you know dang on well if Artika came up half blurred like that, you would know Artika anyway.
Yeah, I was. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, would I know that?
Yeah, you would. When they walked away, you would know. People know me by the way I walk, by how I present myself. Yes, I thought that was you I saw at the store. You was way on the other side. Did you go to Ralph's? I actually was at Ralph's. You know what I mean? Like the people know you have a signature. And it's your spouse. Yo, you know every tick and tack about Artika.
And they hit my man's shoes too early. They're like, so she know what kind of shoes her man got.
Well, she did say that they were both. She was out of her marriage and he was out of his relationship. But that made me wonder: was he truly out of his relationship, or was it we broke up but we still live together because we in this lease? There are things that I automatically assume when you're like, I'm a sort of kind of be out here, but I'm not. And that's one of those things that I just don't think that you're being completely truthful in the situation.
I feel like we're gonna find out at the reunion if we ever get there.
Yeah.
If that's the thing, if we ever get there.
Kawhi gonna be one by the time we get a reunion.
Right.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
When
I
is
want
the
to go back
reunion?
to
The
what
reunion is
Tommy
at the
said.
ending of June. He
Yeah.
literally is going to turn 1 the week after.
I want to go back to what Tommy said when he was like, I think it's too soon. I think if they were more like in a relationship as opposed to a friendship, I would say it's too soon. But they didn't have nothing going on. They hadn't consummated. They hadn't did a doggone thing. So she moved on better than he did because that joker ain't even move on. He just went and got him a piece.
That was her summer school roommate.
That's the other thing I was gonna say too. I think at this point, because somebody said in the chat too, after messing with Eris, like her self-esteem torpedo. So she want to know, look, before we get too deep in this and I waste my time, do you like me? And I think she did good. I always joke with my husband. I said, if anything ever happened between us, if God, if he goes on to glory before me, I already told him, I said, just know I'm about to go find me an old boo because I ain't trying to learn nobody new. So she was like, let me go talk to this guy from college because he already know me. He know me from college. I ain't trying to learn nobody new. And
what you say, resume?
Yep. Let me just resume. I'm like, look, you already know I walk funny. You already know I smack when I eat. You already know all of that. So yeah, because she said I tried a new person on this Married at First Sight thing. No, let me go to something familiar.
Yeah, that was already paused. Her old boo will be paid if something happened to me. Just saying, old boo be happy.
No, he will get nothing. Just go to my kids.
Just put a picture by the door and tell him to say thank you every time you walk through the door.
I'm gonna put it on the pillow. He gonna be like, "Why you got his name on the pillow?" Don't worry about it.
Tell him thank you.
But anyway,
a lot of them hit resumed. I mean, if you think about Clint went out, and we talk about moved to Eris and Clint. Y'all, I just knew Eris and Clint was going. It wasn't gonna take long for them two to smash. I just knew, even for the clip, I'm like, yo, when this is over. Like, Eris is going to smash something within a couple of weeks, and so is Clint.
But that's why I told you will always be like, if I was Clint, I would try something. He would not. This is proof that he was not trying to try nothing with Gina, because he quickly went back to revisit a tie he had before. Him and Eris both. There was nothing going on but the rent. They was
It wasn't even the rent going on because that was paid by production.
Right.
Did y'all think those two guys would wait, or you expected them to have somebody else like on the side?
They were starving. 2 months, they were starving.
I would agree that I feel like they were touch starved, including JacGlen. No, JacGlen probably was ready to. Oh, you think I'm attractive? Well, let's do it right here at the table. Like, I feel like they were all touch starved.
Yeah, wasn't it Clint? Wasn't it when Dr. Pia came in and Clint and Gina both said they would be in a room taking care of their own business?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That, I guess when you look at Clint and even Eris, it's like it makes you question, was that all that you guys wanted in a relationship, or do you blame the women? Do you blame the guys or the women for them not even being able to?
I don't think I blame either of them.
No.
I just feel like they weren't in alignment. They were not compatible. One thing led to another, and it just never recovered from the comments. When you talk about Eris and what position do you like, and you talk about the comments of the redhead, and I like an athletic build woman. So I think they just never recovered from it. I feel like neither one. You know what I mean? And on top of it, I know Glenn and Tommy wanted them just to go to the next door and just get GTD is what
right.
But I think they also were trying to be respectful. Like, I'm on TV. I ain't trying to come up as no creep. You know what I mean? Like, push myself up on them. But, what do I know?
And I was gonna give him kudos, because that was Eris's thing the whole time. I'm a sexual being, so I'm gonna give them a little bit of kudos. At least they didn't creep out on their wives. They wanted to get some. At least they waited till
Allegedly.
after D-Day. They was like, "What you say?"
Allegedly.
You're right, allegedly. But they was like, "Okay, D-Day." I think Decision Day that night. They was like, "What you doing?" Word. Okay. I see it. Look, it's done with. I'm just trying to get some.
Which one of them said that they just got a you up text? Wasn't that Eris?
That was Eris.
He got
Eris. Eris was already marinating on what was gonna happen before that, because he put the girl on ice for the however long, and he was like, "Hey, this ain't working," and she was like, "Oh, you back at home now?"
Right, you're right, RT, because he probably texted her like week 4, like, this ain't gonna work out, so I'm just finishing this off. I see you when I get back home.
That's hilarious. I don't know how I feel about them, man.
Who?
Like the guy, the Clinton heiress.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I still like, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of a boy standpoint, right? The most unfair standpoint you can look at it from. It's like, yeah, you just gotta get back out there, man. And I feel extremely bad for Clint because he's going on this date, and this woman is like, well, I don't like redheads because I'm a redhead. I'm like, that don't make sense.
How hypocritical.
Nobody thinks of that. That's like me saying I don't like black women because I'm a black man.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't like redheads because she didn't like him. It'd be a big difference. You could say,
that. That's
she
like
didn't have to say that though. She could have been like, yeah, so red flags to me are, and just name some stuff and never talk to the man again. Like, don't have to embarrass him like that.
And don't say no stupid stuff. Look, don't say no stupid stuff. I went out with a redhead once and people thought we was related. I was like, shut up.
Nobody thinks that.
Ain't nobody think that.
It's like people with black hair related.
And whoever thought that was stupid.
Right.
Or drinking.
That is dumb.
Or drinking.
It was drunk.
It was drunk.
Oh man, but nah. And again, it's like the one thing, it just feels like it's too soon because it's the very next episode. But we know it's like week 2. They trying to get their footing back and everything like that. So I get it.
And they were never like intimately involved with these people.
Right.
This was just, we did a TV show together. We were co-workers.
Yeah. I found it interesting that Clint was talking to Dom. I know we ain't got there yet, but that's the main reason why I wanted to talk today. But Dom, I don't feel the same as I feel like with Mac and Gina than I do with Dom and Clint. I have no clue. I'm possibly wrong for feeling that way.
I think production came together.
You say what?
I think production made Dom and Clint meet up in the park.
That's what it felt like, right? It's like,
right?
Oh, they just coming out here to meet with each other and stuff like that. But if they even just went further, I wouldn't have an issue with it, like I have an issue with Mac and Gina. My issue with Mac and Gina is more so Mac than Gina because Mac talked to Clint. I don't care if they might not be best of friends, but this dude was married to Gina, and Mac is like, yeah, I would go out on a date with her. I was like, bro, talk to him about it. You talking to Eris about it. Talk to Clint about it. Like, that's the thing that I feel was wrong. It's like, I don't care that they like actually go out on a date with each other, but I just feel like it was wrong for him not saying, hey, Clint, I want to take your wife out on a date.
He's like your ex-wife.
Your ex-wife. Right.
Well, Matt was plotting. I mean, he's been plotting since day one.
That was the trip part.
When you start listening to him and as he talked, he's been plotting since day one. He was sitting there looking.
She said the same thing. She said,
I was like, you were checking him too. Yeah, so I was like, as soon as I seen you, I was like, oh, girl, get your hot body self down.
Right.
I'm sitting there like both of y'all checking each other out. Y'all married, and this is the first. You got a big thing at the airport. Was the first time they saw each other's spouses, right? So the first time y'all see each other's spouse, you can say, okay, he look cute. Oh, I can see why they're together. But I'm not looking at him like, yo, dang, I wish they had matched me with him.
Right. That's the way it felt. It felt like vindictive almost, man. It's like Clint can fight him for that, man. That's a fair reason to fight somebody, man. You like you give him you causing a riff in my marriage if it's gonna work or if I don't think that was a cause of them not to be together or anything, but it's like it causes some type of wave, right? And right there at the end when he sat down and talked to Clint, he could have been like, yo, if y'all don't work out, Bill, would you be cool with it if I, took Gina out on a date? Maybe there's something there. I think she's pretty, blase, 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 but I'm not gonna do anything until I know that you guys are, because sitting there watching the show, watching this episode, you saw it was awkward for Clint to even bring it up when he was talking to Dom about it. Like, come on, man. He know he feels a way about it, and I would too. I think he has a right to feel a way about that because not Clint, but Mac could have said something to him.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm actually guys ask the ladies this. If you knew, because the way Eris puts it, everybody knew except for Clint. Are you telling?
Yeah, I would have said something.
I'm surprised Shaq didn't tell it because she tell everything
I couldn't
else.
sit there and be like, hey, I've been like, Mac, you need to talk to Clint. That would have been the first thing I said. You need to talk to Clint. You don't need to be telling me.
Look at me thinking. I'm over here thinking like, would I say something? I would probably.
I ain't in it.
I'm over here like, am I minding my own business or am I saying something? I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna come back to me. I got to really. If I was Mac, or if I was not if I was that. If I was, let's say, talk a lot, Nicole, because that's who you would think would have said something.
Right.
If I was Nicole and Gina was like, I'm checking for Mac, would I had said something to Gina? Is that what you asking?
Would you say something to Gina or would you say something to Clint? Like, yo, your girl got some wondering eyes. Or like,
I probably wouldn't have said anything to Clint. I would have said something to Gina. Like, hey, yo, come on. You doing too much. You still married. You still in the game. So I probably would have said something to her, not to him. Because she one of the girls and they normally, don't they come out like besties?
Yeah. Jack?
I don't know. I think I might be like, if I said something to somebody, I'd be like, now, Mac, come on now. Don't disrespect that man. I think I would probably be more like, my name is Bennett. I ain't in it. Except to the person that's doing I would say something to the person that's doing. I'd be like, hey, come on. In marriage. I know they don't like each other, but still be respectful.
As I naturally occur in life, I always pretend like I don't know information. Even if I know information, I would treat this no differently.
Like I ain't saying I just straight up just tell Clint, hey, Mac want to talk to your girl. And I'd be like, Mac, you need to holler at Clint.
When it came up that Mac tried to take Gina out, I would be like, what? That's crazy. You just gonna do that in your face?
It depends on how much, though. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if everybody knew, he had to have heard something. You know what I'm saying?
Surprised by it.
I could be sitting there in the conversation, and I would still be like, I didn't know.
I think that he like had to have like some inclination. You know how people be talking and whispering, and you walk in the room, and you're like, well, what is y'all talking about? Because it got quiet or it feels awkward. You have to know something.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think he just didn't care. I don't know if he didn't care. I guess he probably feel like, you know what, our marriage is over. But to me, even if our marriage was over, I would still feel some type of way because you smiling in my face. Like you smiling in my face and you want to take my place.
Was he? Because he wasn't around. They was gone early. So he didn't have no connection to Clint because we only saw him 1 or 2 times. And the other time we saw him, I think he was with Chris when they was working out. They didn't really have no relationship. So he don't have no loyalty to nobody.
Right.
Which even makes it even worse. Cause I mean, you're not even in the little circles or the little meetups and none of that stuff, but you off camera doing what you're doing. And you still thinking about you still thinking about my wife. Because let's say Clint and Gina still worked out right? Mac might still try to slide.
Plotting on my demise.
He's still plotting on Clinton's demise, right? He's still plotting. He's still plotting on. Like, man, dang. I wish him and Gina don't work out. I heard it wasn't doing right. Like, you make you wonder, like, who's feeding Mac information?
Aries.
Like, who's giving Mac the information about Gina and Clint's relationship?
Aries.
That's the thing that
I don't know,
feel
Chris.
right.
I'm gonna say Chris because I ain't see him with no Aries. They didn't look like they was friends.
No, they kicked it.
They did.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That one episode, they
They
went to
kicked
like the
it.
gym.
You know they kicked it because Gina said Mac has more swag than Clint.
Yeah, you know.
And I said, what weird?
Listen, can we just finish talking about how dusty he is?
Like Mac who?
Dusty.
Mac is dusty.
He is. We said that last week when y'all was
So
saying.
he is dusty.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick Clint, but if I had to pick between the two, I'm gonna pick Clint.
Hands down, I'm going with Clint. Hands down. He might have to get a little bit of a haircut.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm going with Clint. I like this style. I like this chillaxing style, his adventurous spirit. If he was a black man, I'd be like, hey, Clint.
I just, it just feels funny, man. Like that man sitting up here trying to talk to his ex-wife and he ain't said one word to him.
I do think it would have been nice for him to go to him directly and say, hey, I dated a guy once. I met, quick story time. A friend of mine and I were dating these two guys. I had been dating this one guy for a little while. Things didn't work out. The two guys were friends, just like me and my friend was friends. So it didn't work out. I want to say maybe a month or so later, after I stopped dealing with him, she called me and asked me if it was okay for her to go out on a date with him. And I was like, I guess so. I mean, I don't have no ties to him. But then I found out from a third party friend that third party friend urged her to say something because she had been seeing him for a while. It was real dirty. So she was fine when she came and asked me. Even if I was feeling away, I was like, well, I'm not with him. And I ain't really like him like that. But if you want sloppy seconds, then by all means, go ahead. But then to find out that you had been dating him probably almost immediately after, and then I thought, well, what about his friend? But
And so what's the rule on that? All right, do y'all have? I know we got some friend rules. Like when me and my friends, we got rules. We don't mess with anybody else is messed with. Do people have that? Any other friend circles have that rule?
Man,
I don't want to take nobody that my friends dated.
Tommy and I have dated each other's friends in college.
That was pre.
That was before us.
Yeah.
But the thing,
I mean, but they're friends still.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the same thing. Do they be looking at y'all like, oh, you was looking at you when
I
I
don't
was
talk to either one of them anymore.
You wanted Artika the whole time.
No.
I don't think anybody believes that either.
I had a situation that it was my cousin's ex-girlfriend. Like when they dated in high school, and then when we got grown, I started dating her, and it felt weird because I was like, man, let me just holler at him. You know what I'm saying? And I tell y'all off camera what it was, but I was like, let me just holler at him, and just tell him, hey, I'm dating your girl, your old girl, and I just think it's not a rule because it's not that you're asking for permission, because I'm just like, hey, it doesn't matter if like we're all grown here, Yeah. But it's just hey, I want to, if you're gonna talk to anybody about it, I think in that situation for Mac, he should talk to Clint about it, because Clint can't tell him, no, you can't date her. But hey, you can be like, yo, I'm finna holler at your girl. If y'all don't work out, I'm gonna holler at her.
It's like a heads up, like a common
Yeah.
Common
like a whole podcast episode. You writing that down? Y'all
It's up here.
He gonna forget that tomorrow.
It might have made it easy for Clint because he knew they didn't do anything. I mean, it made it easy for Mac because they didn't know they did, because he knew they didn't do anything. So he really wasn't.
If they had, I think he still would have tried it. If they had consummated their marriage and then didn't work out, I feel like Mac still would have tried it. Mac seems so grimy to me. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, he feels grimy, dusty. dingy. You know what I'm saying? Like smoky. Like I don't know. He seems grimy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if him and Gina are dating because they were going to go on a date, she said she didn't mind long-term relationship? Do you think by the time we get to the reunion, do you think Mac and Gina will be together?
No.
Nah.
I don't think she really likes him. I think it just sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? She seems to me very very like her representative is always in the front to me.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. It's a different word I'm looking for, but that's
fake.
what it
She
is.
seems fake.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the word you're looking for. She seems fake. Very,
Inauthentic.
that's
It's
it.
a
That's
front,
even
yeah.
better. Even better. No, she definitely feels like she's putting on face on camera and stuff like that. So it's just, for me, it's just a weird situation. And it's not that anybody's asking for permission or anything like that. It's just
I'm just letting you
hey,
know.
dog, y'all got to sit around each other. You can't even, you still haven't had that conversation with him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. He just haven't so I'm going out with Gina. Yeah, and I haven't told her that I'm moving back to Flint, Michigan.
Right. And he just laughing it up. Ha ha ha. He.
Right.
Oh, now
Yeah,
that was
what if he bust him in the mouth? Like I was dating her. You know what I'm saying? Like I still feel the way. You disrespectful. Like I feel like you've been checking for her the whole time.
the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man.
And the way she said it, she was checking for him. So it's like Don was right.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea that he's moving back to Michigan, it's kind of like, bro, why? Like originally, why were you on this show, man? Like, if you get married to somebody, what changes the idea that you're not gonna try to go back to Michigan if you have a successful marriage? I'm glad Don was able to walk away when she did, because I mean that's another tough conversation to have.
Yeah.
But you see, Chris tried to say, well, because Mac was like, I know Dom had a whole I told you so moment. And Chris was like, but I mean, mainly that's because your marriage didn't work out.
Yeah.
No, you was gonna go back to Michigan anyway. Stop it.
Yeah. I was like, look at Dom knowing something, even though I'm not a fan of hers. I was like, but look at her being very receptive.
Them antennas came on, didn't
it?
That's some off-camera conversations that she picking up on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But even with her though, I mean, like you said, even her, she's kind of disingenuous. I don't want to like you because you're going to go back to Michigan, but I'm gonna mess with Gil and he in Houston.
And a whole different.
that's just
Gil ain't gonna even like her.
I would say that's because Gil is attractive and she didn't like Mac. That's the difference.
It's the difference in that one.
Make it plain, Artika. Make it plain.
But that's the conclusion me and Glenn came to. Okay, what's the difference between wanting to do long distance with Gil and being concerned about Mac moving to Michigan? Could it be his complexion? I think that's why she didn't like Mac. She was like, you could have got me somebody browner. It felt like Chris Williams. All these black kings.
And all these black y'all gotta pick in Nashville and y'all pick this dude. But what I told Jackie was that's what you get when you get somebody else to do your paperwork.
Yeah.
Your mama didn't put on there.
And they were the two that when the expert sat down with him was like, neither one of y'all was specific about what you really wanted. You weren't.
I don't even think it's, she likes dark men over white men, but it's a thing of she just didn't like Mac.
Mac was corny.
He was.
I think that's what it was, because I'm like, her daddy's white. So I can't rule that she don't like white men because her dad.
Your daddy white don't mean you like white men.
I don't know.
She might have an aversion to him because he left her mama.
I don't know, possibly, but I'm just throwing something out there in the hat.
I like it. That's what you do. That's what you do. Definitely.
I like it, Tommy. But it's
all right.
For your neck though.
Yeah, hey, that's all right, man. I'm just glad to be here for people to come to get at my neck, because man, I'm telling you, last week I knew I had a problem when I didn't want to eat. I was like, something wrong, man. I just, I'm hungry, but nah, I'm good. I'm fine. I don't want to eat nothing.
That's when you know you sick. When you can't.
Yeah.
You look at it, you're like, man, I can't even eat. God, dog.
Right. Got what I wanted too.
Right.
Nah, I'm good.
Oh man. Hey, with Dom, I think Dom is just Dom. She's young. I keep always going back to that. She's young. She's not really sure what she wants and where she want to be at. If she does hook up with Clint, I mean, like we'll see on previews that they was kissing each other. If she does hook up with Clint, is that because Gina and Mac went out, or is it genuine? I mean, if you Clint, you got to figure out. And for Clint, is it just another notch? Is it for Clint? Is it another notch on the belt, or are they really feeling something with each other? I mean, we'll find out next week. But
yeah, I think that's just play.
Yeah, that's production.
I think something to do. Yeah.
Truth or dare.
I'm looking up to see what next week's
explore
episode
this.
is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Explore this.
Take a shot. Let's have these again. Let's play these games. When I think about Dom and her and that whole Gil situation, and she was like, because he seems more patient, like he has more patience than, I was like, girl, just say he fine. And that you just, this is a brother, he fine. I like that she was honest about him being stable because he's a firefighter, but just be clear on that. And be clear that you would be willing to go to Texas, because that's what it would sounds like it would have to be.
She probably was like, he exotic, he speaks Spanish and stuff, She could have just said it like that. That's what it was. He got muscles.
He got a bald head.
He's a looker. That's what it was.
He's bald headed.
He's a fine gentleman. And
he don't look nothing like that.
He was a gentleman. He was definitely a gentleman the entire time that season.
Right. He's a fine gentleman, and Mac ain't. So that's what it is. I don't care about the distance. Like, Gil looks good. Mac doesn't. He's available. Let's do this.
You know what I kind of felt like when Kirsten found out that she had reached out to Gil. To me, it looked like she was like, "How dare you? You're not even the right caliber for him." Like, I should be trying to holler at Gil.
Like, that is a man.
I love it. You like, dog, you
get a man.
You beat me, Dad.
Right,
but
the pictures are slim.
Gil got a bald head, so she. But I bet you that wouldn't have been a problem for her with Gil.
Gil has a different type of energy than Shaq comes with.
Yes.
Yep, different type of energy.
Gil is definitely manly.
Gil would have been like, "You bet, I'm gonna buy that house. We gonna figure it out." Even though he couldn't have bought that house on his fireman salary that she wanted, he would have just said what she needed to hear, and then they would have figured it out.
I told Jack this. Kirsten had. Is it me, or does it seem like Kirsten talked more in this episode than she did all season long?
Yeah,
I'm like,
she did. That's what you talk when you mad. She is mad. Talking about how dare you? How dare you?
It was that. Have you seen me? Have you seen me? You left me in my presence. That's exactly what it is, Artika. That is
me. You want to get divorced?
You want to divorce me?
She was like, "He ain't got the nerve to be crying."
That's what I want to know. I want to know what you was crying for. What you crying for, Shaq?
What you crying for? Child. And if we're gonna talk about him, I'm all like, well, Shaq, he lost his grandmother, and that's horrible. But right now, you really need her support. You really could have used your wife's support in this time. And although he said she didn't know how, she, to me, feels like she would have been able to do this.
Absolutely.
Her to put away her pride to be like, I called him to say, I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother.
Would you have called? We had this discussion.
I probably would have called. I would have sent a text message. I heard about your grandmama. I'm so sorry. I think I would have sent a text message. Because,
if I saw him somewhere out and he says, my grandma had passed, I'd be like, yep, I heard.
I'm still mad.
I believe her. Every word of that, I believe her.
I believe it too. I believe that.
Me too.
I probably most definitely would call. I'm like, oh my God. Especially since I met her. I'm like, oh my God. I am so sorry. I want you to know I'm semi here for you.
No, Jackie would have called, probably sent a card and some flowers.
No, I would have definitely, let me tell you, listen, I'm guilty of this. I would have definitely thought about sending a card and probably would have forgot to get a stamp. I would have had a card ready and never put it in the mail. Be like,
filled out and everything, and I always feel like cards are an easy way out. I love a good card. Oh, she thought about me. I don't have to talk to you. You know that. You know,
I would have
was
told
gonna
my
say-
mother, who would have reached out to him, and she would have given our collective familial condolences. But Artika would not have called him for anything.
Hey, your mom, nope, all jokes aside, your mom sound like Jackie's
just
mom.
like
Jackie's mom would have did
Oh,
this.
my mother is a beautiful human being. Like, amazing. However, all of that did not trickle to me.
You're right. Jackie mom would have sent a peace lily and all kind of stuff.
I'm gonna send a flower. Y'all want to put in on this flower? I got a friend like that too. She is very good. Like she makes me feel bad because the thought be coming to my mind. I just never execute. She always executes, and I love her for it. I love her.
Yeah, but with Kirsten, I'm like, she's talking up a storm. Like, good gracious, like, where has this side of you been? Which made me believe Shaq. Like, okay, she's one way on camera and one way off camera, and then now she letting her hair down. Like, okay, I ain't gotta put it on for this dude anymore. Let me tell you, that kind of, I don't know where she's from. Where's she from? She from Nashville.
She's Nashville.
All right, that little bit of hood came. A little bit of hood came out. You can see when she cut, she's like, I'm not dealing with him. Bump him next. And she showed up, but even with the house situation, with her Jasmine was looking at the house. Sorry, she was like, "Well, I'm not messing with nobody else because I'm trying to buy my house in 2 years." I said, "Oh, you got that $2 million already? You got that 20%?
Not that house.
You got that 20% of that $2 million?
Not that.
You
house.
good?"
She might, like the career coach has said. Sometimes that's the fuel. She was like, don't let that be the only fuel. But sometimes the fuel is, I'm gonna show you what you're missing. Listen, I would just be like, have you seen me? I probably would have said that when he said that he was gonna say no, and he said no, he wanted a divorce and was crying. I probably would have said, have you seen me? Have you sat and had a conversation with me? Oh, you done lost your mind. That's probably what I would have said. That would have been my response.
Because she had the hips out.
She looked beautiful.
She did.
Man, did she?
She was like, when he watched this episode, he gonna see what he thought he was gonna get.
Right.
She had the hips out. I'm just leave it like that.
Said no to her.
She looked really good.
Yeah, she did.
But evidently, that ain't enough. Evidently, she probably, like we've been saying, she ain't shown no personality, and she probably didn't show her brilliance. And that's not something that I do. I'm funny. I'm brilliant. I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole day. I'm saying no. She needed to showcase who she was. Now we get to see.
I still think Shaq kept moving the field goal on her though. Like,
yeah,
he didn't know how he wanted to be supported. Okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how he wanted to be supported, so he kept moving the goal. Like, no, support me this way. No, support me that way. That don't make sense.
Right. And if you don't know by now, you see Shaq did move away from Nashville. He's in Texas someplace. So that was one of her things too. Like, are you moving? Are we staying in Nashville? So they might have had that deep conversation too, where like he's moving.
Remember, he said that he wasn't gonna take a job.
Well, he did.
Got married because he
got married. So I wonder if he circled back to that job. Not to say that he can't find another job, because people in education move from school to school a lot.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
You just got to be willing to live in college towns.
Right.
That's usually the problem.
But I think when you said that, Artika, made me think maybe that's something he was thinking about. Like, you know what? If she doesn't want to come to an event with me, would she be willing to move with me if I got a job at another school? Would she be willing to follow me as I further my career? As I further my career, would she be willing to go? And that may be that's probably one of the things that made a big decision for him. Like, I don't think she would go with me.
It's hard to ask somebody that you've known for 8 weeks, regardless of if you married or not, to move away from me. It's like, if my life is set up in one place and then I understand that y'all are married. Why would you be like, hey, next week we got to move to a different state? Wait a minute.
I remember when we contemplated moving to Nashville, we like started like actually looking, and I started crying. I was like, I don't think I can do this.
And we was moving because of her. Like literally, like that's how she knows she got a real one. Because I was like, look, I'd have no ties to Nashville, but her best friend was in Nashville. A lot of her friends were in Nashville. One of my closest friends is in Nashville. So I was like, I can make friends anywhere because of me and my personality. Artiga, on the other hand, if if you ain't friends
I was
by
like,
now,
pick your words. Pick your words.
if you ain't friends by now, man, I don't think y'all gonna be friends. You know, so I was like, well, let's move where your friends are because I'll thrive. I'll be all right. And y'all should have saw my face when she started crying.
When I tell you, y'all sound like me and Glenn, because I promise you, we could move to Timbuktu and Glenn is gonna make a friend. Meanwhile, I'm be like, I'm good.
I have friends by the end of the week.
Yeah, it's different between me and my bae. I'm the one to get up and move. Me and my
But Talisa, you seem like you make friends easily.
Well, you know, when I was married, though, not the friendly one. I do make friends easily. People absolutely gravitate towards me. But while I was married, he was the friendly one, and I was the mean. Tell them no, we're not going. Why can't you say no? Like I was the one. He moved in with me. I lived in an apartment, and he moved in with me. I didn't know anybody's name in my apartment. All I said was, hello, how you doing? Hey, and took these kids and went on in the house. He was there a week and knew everybody by first name, what they did, who their kids were. He was like, this is my wife. Y'all met my wife? They'd be like, oh, we see her. Yeah, you know, it was not. What am I talking to y'all for? I got stuff to do.
Why y'all act like that, man?
That is me.
Lisa, I have absolutely had conversations with people and told Glenn about it. And he'd be like, what's their name? I was like,
is it important?
I don't know. I didn't even ask. We was just, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, a grocery
and he'd be like, let me tell you about our neighbor. Our neighbor just moved in. I mean, when we had a new neighbor, I'm telling you, Jake, he got the whole rundown. And I was like, I just know. It's, hey, getting in my car. Coming back home. Hey.
That's it.
I like to know who I live around. I like to know my people, my surroundings.
This is the first place that we have lived where I knew more people's names than he did. And that's because the majority of the people in our part of the street are single women. So they've gravitated to me being the woman in the house. And it's like, okay, I know you. Let me introduce you to this lady. And we have a neighborhood group chat now. And I tell him what's going on in the neighborhood through the group chat for us that are in our little cove. But for the most part, Tommy knows way more people around us than I do. He's very observant, but he don't know anybody's name over here. And I'm like, yeah, I know her name, her name, her name. Don't know his name. Just found out his name. But he be outside talking to him. Yeah. He knows their lawn people. Like he get outside and he knows everybody.
Tell him, Tommy, that's what a protector does. You want to know what you make sure you ain't living next to no crazies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to make sure you can put your kids outside.
Look, even when you think they're not crazy, they still might be crazy.
Yeah, we had some neighbors, man. Boy, we had some neighbors that leave in the middle of the night one night. Like, what's y'all? Like, why y'all packing up? It's like 12 o'clock at night. Then the landlord come knocking on your door a couple later. Have you seen so and so? I was like, yo, dog, they left.
Seen nothing.
I like they left like at 12 midnight, packing a U-Haul.
They not there no more.
They ain't there no more. Well, anyway. Well, we're married at first sight.
Look, I know we on a tangent.
Oh, okay.
Married at first sight is gone too long, so we got other stuff we be talking
about.
I know, right?
Other stuff about. I think we hit everything. Is there anything?
We didn't talk about Nicole and Chris, but ain't nothing really to talk about Nicole and Chris, except for I feel like she talking about how competitive they are, and I think that might be detrimental to their marriage. Like it's okay to want to do things together, but why am I competing with you constantly when we're a collective unit, when we're working towards the same goal? Even if it is miniature golf or baseball or whatever, working out? Why am I competing with you and not encouraging you because you're struggling over here while I got it going? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't like that about her. I don't like the fact that she's very competitive. And I also don't like that they feel like they have to do everything together, because you don't. You need to have your autonomy and your togetherness, because when I'm sick and tired of you, I want to be able to go over to my friend's house. I want to go over and, that's not your friend. I want to go still be with my friends that I've been with, which got me thinking about Martha's Vineyard. Nevertheless,
I agree with you. Go ahead,
what did she buy? A magnifying glass, or she almost bought a magnifying glass?
Yes.
What was that? I missed them completely.
Ridiculous is what she is.
Yeah.
That was the other thing with them. It was her getting competitive, because she was like, I'm a brat when I lose. That will be an issue. And the other thing was, he was like you would pay $5,000 for a couch. I mean, yeah, because I'm looking at the quality. Chris was like, my couch absolutely cost me $300. We're gonna have to work on these spending habits. He gonna have a problem with her.
Yeah, I was like, my whole living room set didn't cost the $5,000.
Right.
What are you talking about? The living room, the love seat, the chair, the end tables, all my stuff show didn't cost none of that.
Nicole has some financial spending issues, and if he doesn't reel that in, that might be the doom of their marriage. And for him, if he has to be able to sit down and have some financial, at least they put their money, whatever they do with their money, but there has to be some goals and some things set in place. $1,900 for a chair, that gold chair, she's like, oh, good one.
They don't match nothing.
They don't match anything.
Just to get it, because it's gold.
Is a financial problem. And I'll tell you offline what I found about Nicole. I want to put her business out there like that on this chat. But again, it is a lot of, they need some financial help, and she needs to have some financial discipline.
If it starts with the letter B, then I read that too.
Yeah, I read that too. Yeah.
I ain't read nothing, so before I leave y'all, because I got to get quick. Y'all got to tell me about this.
All right, we
almost immediately, promptly, rapido.
I said, there's an article out there that she has been, and I said there's an article that found out that she, prior to Married at First Sight, Nicole had some financial issues where she had to go file for bankruptcy. People had suing her, stuff like that. So there's been some money issues that's been going on with her. And so it kind of came out this episode when it shows you that she don't know how to manage her money.
Is that the one you told me where she had whatever large bill?
Yeah, all the credit cards and all that. Yeah. And so it's a whole bunch of stuff that's there. So again, if he doesn't get that right, that can destroy the marriage, because you got to be able to have that financial security, knowing that we're going to work to this thing together, that you ain't out there blowing money on the $8,000 couch.
Which makes me want to ask, do you guys think that should be part of the vetting process for the experts? Financial records, like, what's your credit score? What, what's your bank account? Do you work? Like, well, we know these people don't be working. A lot of times they don't be working. Hey, Kirby. I don't know.
I think so. I've said it for years. They have a financial expert. Somebody
they used to have a financial episode too that didn't happen this season.
Right.
Where they talk about the money and the budgets and stuff.
I think they have to have take a better approach to the finance conversation, because it's such a touchy conversation for people, like it needs to be more directed, because I think Gil and his wife, I can't remember her name. Mirla. Their conversation about it was the worst conversation. I like their conversation could have been better, and that's the last one I remember them like actually having on the show. So it's like they have to have some type of financial expert to come in and say, hey, these, like, when you're looking at finances with marriages, look at it this way, and help them, guide them through that conversation and guide them through some actual help with their finances if they're not the greatest financial people in on earth. So
yeah,
that's where a lot of people get into trouble with in marriages, is because they have to be financial experts and never knew anything about finances. They just know, hey, I go to work and I bring home a paycheck and try to pay all my bills on time.
And I was gonna say, you talking about Gil and Mirla, that's the same Rachel and what was his name?
Miguel.
Jose. Oh,
Who's
Miguel.
that? Who's that?
Jose.
Was it
Ray
Jose.
Miguel or
he had
Jose?
a
It was
bad.
Jose? Okay.
Yeah, they
And
had a
Brianna
bad
and
too.
Vincent. What Brianna and Vincent on there too? Wasn't that episode? That season, I mean.
I don't
No,
even
no,
remember.
different season.
Different
Yeah,
season, but they talk. They have money conversations too. Brianna and Vincent actually did their budget down in Atlanta. They sat
but
there.
yeah, theirs went a little bit better than
Are
even.
they
I
still
mean, but
Yeah, they
yeah,
just had a
they
baby.
had a baby and everything.
Yeah,
really? You see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make sure we do a Where Are They Now or something, because I don't know. So I could just be like, what they are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listen, the couples of color is they reigning right about now when it comes to
Sticking together.
yeah. Except for we just still don't know about Karen and Miles. Not really, not for real. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's a whole.
They look very separate when you see them on social
Yeah,
They
media.
gotta be separate because if we were together, I wouldn't be like respect my privacy.
Right.
exactly.
Exactly. I don't think I'd be in Dubai without my wife. I'm just saying.
Miles,
All the places they be. But do you always have what's a couple that from Boston that's always off again, on again?
Jeffy
Plain
and
vanilla.
Honey.
Plain vanilla.
Elijah and Katina.
Elijah and Katina
Oh.
always off
Oh.
again.
Look, I
Boston
was
is
just
full of
trying to
on and off.
Yeah. Jeffy and what? Shanice?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
But at least they be more on than
more
off.
on and off. So I mean, that's it. Where we at with Married at First Sight? I don't even know what next week's episode is. Articulate, did you find out? what
I
it is?
did. It is oh gosh. Hold on. Let me pull it back up.
Yeah.
Last call for Music City, which tells us absolutely nothing. Let me see if it gives me.
It's gonna be about the dogs. Remember the dog? I think what they showed the next episode was Clint took the dog and went around the world and and you got the kid, and then you see Gil and Dom
Right.
talking, and then you see Kirsten and Shaq having a conversation, and Shaq saying we didn't really give it a chance at the end. And I know they be putting it all together, but I think that's all for next. I hope that's
Oh yeah, it's the unexpected hookup, which is Clint and Dominique kissing each other.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you may get a panel discussion next week, but the week of the special, you won't get one from us.
when is that? I hope this week is the last one that we got to talk to the reunion. Not that I don't like talking to y'all. I mean,
I think
I don't like watching I don't like watching these nonsense.
That's what it sounds like.
They
this
won't
is-
go
yeah,
away.
It's only you, Tommy. It's only you. It's only you, Tommy.
Yeah, this is the last one until the reunion. So
I don't believe that at all.
this is the last one until the reunion. Trust me. I hope so. But the season has dragged on. Trust me, it has dragged on. We're going on 6 months, right? It started in December.
Never-ending season.
Never ending season. But I just want to make sure we keep you guys informed. Y'all keep liking us every week, so we keep liking you guys. So we're gonna keep doing it as long as they keep doing it. So hopefully they give us a break between this season and the next in Denver. So we'll see. Hey, before we wrap up, you got anything else you got coming out? Podcast, promoting, coffee breaks, anything else you got out there coming out there?
Coffee breaks Saturday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talisa made it to 1. We were so excited to see her.
Yeah. We almost stopped just to exclusively talk to her.
You know what? What's funny is I think I might be able to make them again, because yesterday morning I was up at 5 a.m. and something said, well, why don't you log in and look at coffee break? And then I said, no, I'm gonna just go back to sleep. But my body wakes up. My body wakes up like I'm going to the gym. So it wakes up, at like 4:45, 5 o'clock every day if my alarm doesn't go off. And so maybe I will. Maybe you'll see me for 5-10 minutes, because Saturday morning I be wanting to lay down.
Saturday morning. I catch it in the grocery store at the radio station. I'll pop it on and be like, hey, Tommy, hey, Artika, or make a comment. So we're good there. Anything else you guys got? You promoting?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing. Lily is yelling at Quad to go away. Stop crying. Quad is crying. It's just chaos. Just was right here.
Remember those days.
Oh no, I'm not telling them about the podcast. I'm not telling them I'm selling t-shirts. What else you got?
Well, every time she say what she not doing, now we know.
Right.
I'm not doing it seriously. Like, not right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We love you guys. This is fun. 6 o'clock is interesting in our household, as you guys can see. And This is a long season. That's all I got.
Got you. We appreciate you guys. Talisa, what you have going on?
I don't really have nothing going on, but it's coming. It's coming. I got stuff in the works in my mind. I'm working them out in my mind. And anybody that watches my Martha's Vineyard Summer House or Summer House Martha's Vineyard review, I know I owe you two, and then one comes on tonight. I got y'all. I just had to get my life back in order from being gone and then trying to reacclimate into being super mom plus working. It's just a lot. And so I feel like I'm back to normal. Okay. So I'm gonna put all 3 episodes out by Tuesday.
That's what's up. That sounds like us having to catch up with the one on TV one with Kurt Franklin. Got one more episode this week. Episode should be coming out shortly. I gotta watch it, and we'll put it out there for you guys. I'm debating about Atlanta Housewives. I got caught back up the last couple of weeks, so if you see one, it might be me because Jack can say no.
I'm so far removed from the Housewives, like I can't even. I done missed so many seasons, and
they don't everybody. They just argue, fight,
they just argue and fuss and cuss at each other.
It's fun to me, but you guys are watching.
I haven't watched that in forever. I have not watched that in forever, but you would think that I would because Summer House comes on right after, but I don't.
Yeah. So you get some of those. So hey, well, make sure you subscribe to all of us. Make sure you hit that bell notification and all that good stuff. And you guys have a great evening. Thanks for rocking with us. I enjoy the rest of your afternoon and appreciate you for discussing Married at First Sight. And everybody that's in the chat, appreciate you guys. Thank y'all and catch you next week.
Bye, y'all.